So Alex Becker is attempting to turn 30 million US dollars into anywhere between 80 and 300 million US dollars by the end of this utility alt season. Have a look at his tweet right here. He says, I'm laying out my entire plan for the rest of the market and my strategy to walk away with high 80 to 90 million dollars, maybe even 9 figures if it plays out, which gives us the opportunity to turn 30K into 300K or 300K into $3 million. But you have to know which Alex Becker tokens are the right ones to invest in, because if you buy the wrong ones, you can literally lose 98% of your money, even though it's an Alex Becker recommendation, and you're going to be over there sidelined while you watch this other Alex Becker token 15, 20, 30x. And this season it's harder than ever because Alex Becker currently has 71 different tokens that he's either invested in or partnered with that he thinks are going to go nuclear in this cycle. And that is a large portfolio. But in this video, we're broken it down into 4 very specific categories. And if you're investing in any of the top 3 categories, I want you to watch this video and then reconsider if you should move your allocations into category 4. Also, at the very end of this video, I'm going to show you one token that is severely undervalued according to Alex Becker, that last time we felt this was overvalued, did a 6x in the period of about a week. Now, before we jump in, make sure you hit that subscribe button. We break down people like Alex Becker, Crypto God John, Murad, all the people who are turning thousands of dollars into millions of dollars, figuring out what tokens they're buying, what strategies they're using, so we can copy trade them and get the same results ourselves. All you have to do is hit that subscribe button to stay up to date. And you should probably do it now, because tomorrow we're going to actually do a part 2 to this video where we break down tokens further. If you've been watching Alex Becker, if you've been following him on Twitter, he thinks that right now, literally the week that I'm recording this video, there's no better asymmetric risk reward play for you to possibly make. He thinks there's a potential 10 to 100x upside, and worst case scenario, we're going to be delayed maybe a month or 2. This bull market, he believes, is absolutely going to happen and almost nothing can stop it. And to be honest, if you've got your finger on the pulse of the market, it feels like it's starting to happen right now. Have a look at the crypto greed index. It's sitting at about 71. And if you see the historic chart, you'll always see that the high prices in Bitcoin and the new growth in Bitcoin always come when the market is greedy. As we've seen Bitcoin cross into new all-time highs at 123,000 US dollars. Alex Becker also says that retail is not here yet. Look at the search volume for Bitcoin. These people are going to come. They're going to bring $10 trillion into the market, and we just have to make sure we're in the right tokens in order to take advantage of this massive tidal wave. Alex Becker used to talk about the M2. He actually hasn't mentioned it by name, but he's very aware that as the governments all around the world, China just printed something like $1 trillion in a day, all print money. There's a 7-week delay until this money flows down into the Bitcoin price. And you can see there's something over the last year, an 87.7% correlation between the M2 money supply, how much money is being printed around the world. Unfortunately, we can project it 6 to 7 weeks ahead of time because of something called the Cantillon effect, as the money trickles down into these assets, into the hardest forms of assets. And you can see Bitcoin is projected to be at $165,000 a token in October, which means up only, and therefore give way to alt season. This is, by the way, Colin Talks Crypto, who is excellent at tracking the M2 against Bitcoin. Alex Becker even mentioned in his latest video how there's a staggering $7.4 trillion now sitting in money market funds ready to be deployed into assets. I think they earn about 2 to 4% from something in a money market fund. It's basically sidelined and safe cash. And Becker thinks that a lot of these trillions of dollars that have just been stacked up will eventually flood into crypto. He also says Bitcoin looked like crap all last year as BlackRock and institutions bought billions of dollars left and right. Now Ethereum looks like crap as the government and institution are stacking billions of it. Please don't be this stupid. First happened with the big orange coin. Now the money is flowing down that crypto whip, down that cycle into Ethereum. And you can see this because Bitcoin dominance is dropping. And as Bitcoin dominance drops, it's funny, you also have to think Bitcoin dominance can drop, but the price of Bitcoin can also go up. It just means the altcoins, such as Alex Becker's portfolio, which we're going to go through together, is going up faster than Bitcoin is going up. And therefore, the dominance of Bitcoin is dropping. It's dropped from almost 65% back here, down to 63.74%. And it's expected to drop all the way down to about 43% before the end of this supercycle. And you can see this is tracked in the altcoin index, where Bitcoin season is down the bottom, altcoin season is at the top, and we've had that turn, that sharp turnaround heading towards altcoin season, where we do get the opportunities to print those 30 to 100x returns. And we're literally seeing this today. Ethereum has crossed 3,100 US dollars. It's been a while since it's done that. And even this is on the monthly scale. It was down at 2,100. So it's a 50% turnaround just this month. And while these things start to perm, while these things start to warm up, that's when we get really massive opportunities down the risk curve in Alex Becker's micro cap portfolio. But first, before I get there, I wanted to really quickly refresh you on the first three categories, introduce you to category 4, and why I think it's the best possible way to copy trade Alex Becker in order to maximize our returns. But there's also, I'm going to introduce you to a category 5. And knowing these categories, I think will be extremely helpful for you. So let's breeze through the first three because you're probably somewhat familiar with them. Category 1 is the massive market caps. So the easiest way to show you is just what we were just talking about. Ethereum, which has a $375 billion market cap, probably at best is going to hit a 1.5 trillion, like at best, a 1.5 trillion. It'd be very impressive if this could hit a $1 trillion market cap, which means best case scenario, we're going to get a 2 to 3x return if we put our portfolio into Ethereum, of which Alex Becker does invest in things like Dogecoin, Pepe, Cardano, Sui, Avalanche, Solana, Chainlink, and he knows that these aren't going to get the 10x, but he can put more money into these assets because they're lower risk, lower reward, and he's really trying to tap into that low risk and just ride the average of the market with his category 1. What about category 2? Well, this goes down the risk curve one step, and the best way to describe this one is Superverse, which is Alex Becker's friend, Elio Trades, who we also track his wallets and portfolios here on the channel. This is his project. And you can see it's got a massive market cap. It's a very strong market cap for Elio's project of 853 million. So just sub $1 billion, which means it's done really well already. Unlike ETH, it's not at 350 billion and probably never will be at 350 billion, but it could reach a $3 to $5 billion valuation if it does well and the cycle is strong. And you can see it did that way back here in 2021. And so this category is basically like definitely more risky than the category 1, but a lot of these tokens are between 100 mil and $1 billion or even a $5 billion market cap for something like Potenta, which again, doesn't mean you're not going to make money in category 2. Doesn't mean you're not going to make money in category 1, but there's a lot of people who say who have 5 grand and they want to turn it to 100 grand, which means, okay, you're going to need a 20x return. It's going to be a lot harder to get. And if you've got a high risk tolerance and you're okay losing that 5 grand, Becker thinks that you want to be playing in category 3. And these are the tokens with a potential 30x plus return. Now, I'm about to show you a couple of tokens. Normally what happens on this channel is people go and ape the tokens that I showed them, especially in the market sentiment like today. Don't do that. I'm going to show you a couple of ones that I actually don't like. And at the very end of the video, I'm going to show you one token that I'm not partnered with, not sponsored with, was always bullish on, is the Alex Becker token at about a $15 million market cap level that I'm convinced will see a $100 million market cap. So bear with me for that. I'm going to show you a couple of tokens now that I definitely don't think you should go and buy, but they are in the category 3 level. In fact, remember this video is about category 4. So wait till I get to that before you guys go and ape anything, please. The first token I'll show you in category 3 is Cryptalk. And Cryptalk's an interesting one because it's currently valued at a $1.25 million market cap, which is extremely low. And you can see it's been basically down and to the right. And if you're not aware, this is an Alex Becker token. And it's not just an Alex Becker token where he's mentioned it once way back here. He's actually mentioned it recently in a couple of his videos. And what I want to say here, again, I don't hold Cryptalk. I don't think you should go buy Cryptalk. I'll show you the other token that I do hold and think will perform way better than this. Something in the range of a $1 million to $5 million market cap will definitely be able to 30x if Alex Becker's power gets behind it in the right market sentiment. But just like Cryptalk's been down only, let me show you the risks of category 3. And this is why I want to transcend to category 4. Skillful AI is down 99.12% since Alex Becker got into the seed round and recommended people buy it. And this is part of the game. I'm not blaming Alex Becker. Remember, we're making asymmetric bets. We want to make 10 of these bets. 6 of them might go to zero like this, and the other 4 might make us $100,000 profit over what we lost. This is an asymmetric game, and I don't think there's anything wrong with Alex Becker making multiple bets and making them public. But I want you to know, and you've probably seen this if not experienced it, they're not all going to go up. A lot of them are going to bleed out 99% of value. It means if you put 10 grand in there, you've got $100 left. And this is the risk of category 3. And even if we just go back to March 2024, we can see what Alex Becker said. He says, I've gone hyper deep and seed early stage investing in GPU net and skillful AI. With the NVIDIA AI hype in tech, I think market caps on these will and can get out of control. It did not, and therefore we have to be careful with category 3. But again, on the other hand, this is where the money really is made. This was Cheyenne. And he mentioned Cheyenne in a strong market sentiment, and I believe it was at an 800,000 market cap, which is absolutely crazy low. And after he mentioned it, it did a 10x in the very same day. These are category 3, but let's finally break into category 4. What I found is Alex Becker has 71 tokens. I feel like the worst way to play this is just to divide our money up evenly across these tokens. Some of them will 30x. Others will lose 99%, but I wanted to be able to discern this ahead of time and share it with you so you have more information before you go ahead and try and buy into something like Skillful AI. So I wanted to take out the old narrative tokens that Alex Becker was partnered with but no longer has incentive to promote, tokens that have rugged or really just absolutely dumped off a cliff 90% plus, and tokens that have already blown up and realized most of their upside, and even though it's an Alex Becker coin, it doesn't have crazy ROI to go. And so I made you this beautiful table with all of his tokens and then showing you which ones are live and launched, which ones are not abandoned, which ones haven't tanked 80 to 90%, which ones are a new narrative, and which ones still have a small enough market cap to see most of the upside. And you can see all these red X's over in this column right here, this blue column where my mouse is. There's a lot of them that no longer fit the build that a lot of people are holding. Again, one more caveat, I hate caveats on this channel, but it's very important that I say it. It doesn't mean they won't make money. This is my personal framework that I'm overlaying on top of this in order to find the ones that are most likely to make money. Something like Replay, for example, got an X because it did tank. It's fallen off probably 90%. But, that doesn't mean it's not going to triple or quadruple, because if something falls 9% and you buy right at the bottom, it could very easily 4 to 5x from there, especially with a strong Alex Becker mention. But I've compiled this list for you of the cleanest Alex Becker tokens that are current new narratives, tokens that don't have crazy inflated market caps, tokens that haven't fallen off an absolute cliff, and tokens that have strong teams and strong partnerships. Because even on this channel, now we're starting to take the same partnerships as Alex Becker and people like Crypto God John. Very grateful to actually get in the room and do that. But we can see which tokens have the best marketing teams, which tokens these influencers are most excited to go and promote to their audiences, and which ones are they making the most money on, because they're the ones they're going to go ahead and promote. And we came up with these 21 token. And so I highly recommend, if you're investing in Alex Becker tokens and they're not on this list, we'll put the list here on the screen so you can cross-reference them all, that you make sure you have a strong reason you're investing in the other. Now in tomorrow's video, I'm going to be showing you my favorite tokens out of these 21, so make sure you do subscribe for that. But before I leave you today, I wanted to show you a category 5. So we got the 4 categories here, but there is actually a category 5, and that is this sheet right here. Token 72 to token 100. And now, why do I think Becker's going to have upwards of 100 tokens? Well, let me pull back the curtain of the brand deal and partnership room. The reason Alex Becker has 71 tokens is because altogether, he's probably going to make about $20 million in partnership deals. The market has changed since 2021, and people know that KOLs and influencers drive the market, and Alex Becker is one of the biggest KOL influencers. He can literally add 10 to 30 to 50 to 100, sometimes even $200 million to a market cap just because he promotes the token. And therefore, the token is very happy to give Becker anywhere between 150 grand to even sometimes, when the market's hot, $1 million in order to be a partner with his token. And therefore, as Alex Becker's portfolio expands, last bull cycle, he probably had 3 to 4 real core tokens and then about 15 tokens over the period of 6 months that he was extremely bullish on. It was way easier to track. But this time, it's way more spread out, it's way more diversified, and we have to make sure that we are staying on top of things in order to get into the core tokens that I think are going to be doing the best. But I know Alex Becker is making $20 million plus by partnering with these tokens, and therefore, why would he say no to token 73 to 100 when he's already said yes to the first 30? And it's interesting because these new tokens that are not yet revealed and maybe not even yet launched, I believe are going to make us way more money than his current portfolio. Because his current portfolio, the narrative's already out there. People have already bought them. Some people have lost money on them. They're not excited by them. And the market sentiment is not at all-time highs. It is in the greed. It's about 72. But wait till it's at 96 when everyone's making money on everything. And then Becker's 81st token launches and he puts one tiny little tweet about a clue about it and it runs to $100+ million market cap. And I mean, even just personal anecdote, I can start to feel the market shifting because we do have a 71 in the greed index, and even the video that we put out on Medicaid from 2 days ago only got about 11,000 views. The Medicaid price, this is where the video came out down here, moved from 84 cents and now it touched that 17 cents. So a strong 2x. I think Peter House Crypto also put out a video at this point in time. But in this market, even smaller communities like us here at Across the Rubicon can have a stronger and stronger effect. And when the market goes from a 71 to that 96, and I talk about something like Medicaid at a $15 million market cap or below, that could even push it to a $50 to $60 million level, let alone Alex Becker and his 10 times stronger audience. Let me show you this. This is strong market sentiment back in 2021. And important thing to note here, look at the last 3 months of sentiment before this event occurred. I'm about to show you something pretty crazy. It was all in that red greed. And if you're starting in the red greed, you're going to have less category 5 tokens doing what I'm calling late running. But because it was there for like 3 months, and we had the biggest KOL in the world, Elon Musk tweeted out about Doge and Dogecoin on April 15th, 2021 at 2:33 p.m. And at that exact time, you can go literally line this up on CoinMarketCap, that is what exploded Doge into being the biggest meme coin of all time. And I strongly believe these late runners, these category 5, these tokens we haven't even heard about are going to do what Altura did in the last market, where Axie Infinity was the blue chip gaming crypto. And you can see, let's get actual dates for us here. This was June 30th. Axie Infinity was basically not even moving. And then it skyrocketed 765% by 25th of August. So 3 months. But have a look at what Altura did, which is also a gaming token. It just flatlined over those full 3 months until that second wind and that late runner. When market sentiment had been bullish for so long, then Altura went absolutely crazy way after the original tokens like Axie Infinity had run. And so I'm believing that these tokens up here that we are aware of are somewhat like the new Axie Infinity. And the new tokens, the late runner category 5 tokens, are going to go absolutely nuclear as market sentiment becomes more and more consistent and more of that $10 trillion is entering the market. And that's where we're going to get crazy runners like Cheyenne, which did a 13x in 2 days, which is absolutely nuts at that time. Pinlink did a 12x in 2 weeks. And even recently, as the market sentiment has turned, we found in our inner circle Gray at an 800,000 market cap, which went on to, I think it's sitting at about 20 mil. I think it went up as high as $25 million market cap. And also in our inner circle, guys, we're finding tokens before Becker because we're tracking his wallets. We're tracking his socials, and we're also tracking the deployer wallets of these new projects from people who are way earlier, like Jimbo, who will then go and sign on someone like Becker and these other big KOL. So we're getting really incredible opportunities that you wouldn't get if you're not in our inner circle. The other thing that we're doing is we're noticing who is sending Alex Becker more of their supply. These are the tokens that Alex Becker is partnered with that have sent him even more supply in order to get more shoutouts. And if you know more shoutouts are coming in a strong market sentiment, I'm way more likely to put my money in the portfolio where I know he's going to be promoting it in the future. And so if you want access to Alex Becker's wallets, Alex Becker's portfolio, as well as all these other massive KOLs and notifications on new projects and deployer wallets, now is the best time to come and trade like the biggest influencers and best traders in the world and sign up on our inner circle. Now, what is that token that I was talking about, that $15 million market? And this is me going through that list. I'm going to give you more of these tokens tomorrow. I went through that list of 21 tokens. I'm like, which ones do I actually think is going to do really strong? I'm not sponsored by ZKML, but I believe it could be a massive, at least 3 to 4x, maybe even 6x plus over the next few weeks. Because Alex Becker says, privatizing DeepIn and the ability to privatize all transactions on chain, like ZKML, is going to be incredibly important. He believes it could run to an area like a $300 or $400 million market cap. Kazi said back in March 2024, 11x on ZKML. Alex Becker says, it's PAAL's little brother. I expect it to mirror PAAL, which PAAL was at about $600 million market cap. ZKML will replace PAAL at its current mid-cap market cap. And even Trader XO said there's some decent looking projects that are sub $100 million market cap and above $20 million market cap. What's on your list? Alex Becker says ZKML, remember, above 20 million. Have a look at the ZKML chart right now. It's currently sitting at a fully diluted value of $16 million. The last time I was on this channel talking about ZKML and how I think Becker is extremely bullish on it, he is partnered with it, he does have a partnership bag of it, I thought that this was going to absolutely explode was literally back here in November before it went from 11 cents all the way up to 67, 68 cents. Right now it's sitting at 16 cents. Alex Becker is mentioning it. It's on the top of his mind. He has a strong partnership deal with them. And it's also a coin that stood the test of time and doesn't have a lot of people who are going to dump on you. So when I looked at the list, I was hyper bullish on ZKML. But I will be revealing more of my thoughts on these tokens in tomorrow's vids. Make sure you subscribe and come and join us in the inner circle if you want an advantage in the super cycle.